Welcome back to Not So Grand Garage. Tonight, I'm out in the shop, and as you can see in the background, the Danger Ranger is back. It is here for just a service. We're 10,000 miles into this new engine, and everything seems to be okay so far. It did develop a little bit of an oil leak, so I went over everything, valve cover, oil pan, snugged a few bolts up. We're gonna let it ride for a little bit and see if it keeps losing oil. If it does, we'll dive into it a little deeper, but I think that pretty well had it covered. A few of the oil pan bolts had lost tension, it would seem, so with a fresh rubber or silicone gasket in place, sometimes that happens. The gasket compresses a little bit and the bolts will lose tension, things will start seeping, but we'll keep an eye on it and go from there. With that said, I got a handy little tool sent to me. I've always wanted one and I never bought one, so we're gonna try it out. It's a 66490 oil filter cutter, or filter cutter in general. I'll be using it to cut some fuel filters and stuff like that on the truck before too long. But yeah, we'll give it a shot and see how it goes. Pretty inexpensive compared to the other ones, so hopefully it does what it's supposed to. So let's get at it. So, it's the first time I've ever used one of these, so we're gonna give it a shot and see how it goes. I'm assuming this works just like a tubing cutter, so just taking my time, snugging it a little bit at a time. Sounds like we're just about through it. Oh, maybe. Let's open this back up a little bit. There we are. Worked pretty well for what it is. First time I've used one, again, so I'm not perfect at it, so I won't blame the tool for me being a little clunky with it. Gonna dump the canister out. Now, this canister will be sharp, so be careful with that. Got our spring that holds into the bottom of the filter. This is our Wix 51515 filter, which is a really good filter in my experience with it. Part of the drain back valve. But yeah, I'm looking through the material. I'm not seeing anything that is concerning. No shiny bits, no big chunks of anything. Looks pretty standard to me. So yeah, little filter cutter works pretty well for what it is. Does it work as well as the super high dollar ones? That I don't know, because I don't have any of the high dollar ones. But for my purpose, I think it'll do the job just fine. Well, as you can see, it did its job. worked well enough for me. So yeah, overall build quality seems pretty decent. I don't see any damage to the threads. I didn't have to put a lot of pressure on it, so it's got a good sharp blade on it. The bearings spun freely and let the filter spin around in my hand pretty easy. So yeah, overall pretty happy with it. I will drop a link in the video description, so check that out if you've been looking for one of these. Kind of a handy tool, especially when, like in this case, this new engine's got 10,000 miles on it. It's its second oil change since the break-in oil change and all that stuff. And I wanted to go on and cut the filter open and see if we had any material or anything going on there, and everything looked good. It'll also come in handy for cutting up fuel filters, which we'll be doing here before too long on the flatbed to kind of see how the fuel system is doing. But yeah, with that said, I'm going to wrap this one up. If you got any comments, questions, complaints, drop them in the comment section below. If you would, hit that thumbs up button. Helps us out quite a bit and doesn't cost you anything. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We appreciate you watching.